Hello everyone, welcome. My name's Charlie, and for today, we are going to be 100%ing Bugsnax. So you know the saying, you are what you eat? Well, in this game, that's kind of how it works. Welcome to Snaktooth Island, home to the legendary Bugsnax. Half bug, half snack, completely delicious, and totally cursed. Although this island of snackable spiders and appetizing ants seems fun and cute, a troubling mystery is afoot, brewing beneath the island's surface, and I set out to get to the bottom of it and 100% the entire game. That means every single Bugsnak, every single mission, and all 110 side quests. This video has been in the works for over a year and a half now, so if you value the life of this dear Strabby, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Alright, without further ado, let's get right into it. Our story begins on a flying ship headed to Snaktooth Island, and I must say, I didn't appear to be the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm getting my map all wet. Oh my gosh, I'm such a fool. What is... Suddenly, a massive flying thing appeared in the sky, colliding with my ship, and things only went downhill from there. Where the frick am I? Did I seriously just die in the first 5 seconds? Immediately after this crash landing, I found a cave marked danger, and for some reason, decided to crawl right in. What is going on? Oh, good lord! Is that a volcano? I did some sick parkour as the entire earth quaked beneath me, but eventually, my little knees gave out, and then... Good. That's a concussion. That's a whole concussion.
Are we rolling?
Now, some context to this situation. 2 weeks earlier, I'd been sent footage which documented Lizbert, an explorer who'd discovered Bugsnax and was creating a civilization around this new food source. Lizbert knew about my work as a journalist and asked me to visit her on Snaktooth Island to uncover the mystery of Bugsnax, but first, I needed to run it by my boss. Hello, Clumby Clumbernut?
Do you have any idea how much trouble you've caused me?
This feels like a toxic work environment. Mrs. Clumbernut didn't want me reporting on Bugsnax, but I, being the fantastic and persuasive journalist that I am, convinced her that it was a story worth covering, and she gave me her blessing.
Try not to fall off a cliff or something.
That is the first thing I did. Thank you for your concern, though. Back in the current time, I awoke from my coma to find... Oh, Jesus Christ. I actually just jumped. And as I walked further into the island, I stumbled upon another grumpus laying there just like I was moments ago. Filbo! Hi, bud. Oh, so we have to get a Bugsnak for Filbo here. The mayor, apparently. First, I have to open this snack. A Strabby. A very simple snack. Watch its walking pattern. Okay. Filbo, I found a Strabby over there. Filbo handed me his snack trap from his back pocket, and I set out to catch the Strabby. I set the trap, hid behind a rock, and successfully caught the little bugger. Toss it into my mouth hole? Good lord. Okay, here's your Strabby.
Awesome!
What the? That seems like a real medical problem. After exploring the area and catching a Roodle as well as a Strabby, I returned to Filbo for another meal. Here, have a Roodle. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And then caught the third and final Strabby that he'd requested. You terrify me. At this point, Filbo learned that I was the journalist Lizbert had sent the tape to, but gave me some troubling news.
I'm supposed to take you home, but Lizbert might not be there.
Why?
I don't know where Lizbert is.
It's not like my entire career depended on this one interview. It's no biggie, Filbo. That's really fine. Nevertheless, I was still super excited to check out Garden Grove and see what the people of Snaktooth Island were all about. The second grumpus I met was a farmer named Wambus.
Still alive? Thought you'd have starved to death by now.
Nope. I found a journalist.
Apparently, with Lizbert missing and unable to catch Bugsnax for everyone, the townspeople were stuck eating ketchup from Wambus's farm. The thing was, though, Wambus's farm was a bit far from the town, and when Filbo suggested moving it a tad closer, Wambus kinda blew his lid.
I don't quit. Now kindly leave and take a ketchup for the road.
Wambus!
Whoa!
Good
Darn
lord!
bunger! Stranger, I could use your help.
Okay.
This bunger goes wild for ketchup. Take my sauce slinger, gather up some ketchup, and use it to lead the bunger over yonder.
Okay, are we gonna talk about how Filbo just flew into the stratosphere? So sorry, what? Get ketchup? Why are you looking at me like that? With my new sauce slinger, I shot some ketchup on the trap, which didn't work as well as I anticipated, but the bunger ended up just walking into the pen anyway. I don't think I did that right, but it ended up okay. Ketchup was obviously an invaluable resource on this island, so I harvested up some more before venturing onward. Oh. God, Filbo, poor Filbo. He seemed fine, but Wambus had another request for me. Frieders were ruining his ketchup crops, and he wanted me to catch one.
And then let me eat it.
In no time, I found a Frider walking on the ceiling of this cave, and just like the bungers, Friders were attracted to ketchup, so I ketchupified my trap and managed to snag the little guy, bringing him back to Wambus for a quick snack. Oh. Good lord. You know what else makes me say good lord? When my factor box arrives. I've recently started school again and been making videos, so it's been a lot. But factor completely eliminates the hassle of prepping, cooking, and cleaning up. This game very much emphasizes that the food you put in your body is super important. And I know that when I don't have time to cook, I end up eating out. Factor is by far cheaper than eating out all the time, and they have lots of options for everyone, such as keto, calorie smart, vegan, veggie. Also, I had the vegan mushroom marsala, and it was absolutely scrumptious. Like, I'm kind of on a mushroom thing right now. I really like mushrooms, so it had mushrooms. It tasted good. Chef's kiss. Factor is actually owned by HelloFresh now, too, so if you do have some time to whip something up, you can actually enjoy both brands at a discount with me. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use my code BABYMAYO50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month of orders. That is BABYMAYO50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month of orders. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get back to the video. The next couple minutes essentially served as a quick crash course for the main Bugsnak catching mechanics in the game. As we'd learned, some were attracted to sauces like ketchup, but there were others that were a bit skittish, like the shishka bug, where we needed to use larger Bugsnax to scare them out of hiding. I've just made a breakthrough. You just put the ketchup on the bush. And with this new knowledge, I was finally able to catch some and feed them to Wambus. Oh, you got matching kebab hands. That's horrible. With the Friders and shishka bugs dealt with, my final task was to catch a bunger, which needed to be stunned before I could snag it with a net. My first instinct was to cover these two with ketchup and try to get them to just attack each other. Oh yes, it's happening! And to my surprise, it actually worked perfectly, and I was able to feed one to Wambus. With the strength of his new kebab arms, Wambus pushed over the tree Filbo had fallen on, turning it into a bridge we could use to get to Snaxburg.
Y'all just get along now. I'll catch up.
Oh, I get it, because you're a ketchup farmer. That is actually such a good joke. Shut up, Wambus. Crossing the bridge, we then met my least favorite grumpy yet, Beffica.
Skills, none. Friends, none.
Oh! As much as I disliked Beffica, she let me use one of her journals, which had a lot of useful info in it, including a Bugapedia to keep track of the snacks I'd caught, a list of all the grumpuses I'd talked to so far, and a bunch of other info related to my ongoing quests. With my new journal in hand, Filbo and I finally entered Snaxburg.
Well, here we are.
Whoa, Snaxburg! Now that we've made it to town, I decided to get right to work, starting off by interviewing Filbo. As expected, he was a big fan of Bugsnax, but when I asked him about Lizbert's disappearance and the chaos and disarray within Snaxburg, he explained,
There was a big fight, and then an earthquake, and then everybody decided they'd be better off alone.
Before we could get to the bottom of Lizbert's disappearance, we needed to get all of the townspeople back in Snaxburg, and Wambus had already agreed to move back, so the next grumpus on the list was Gramble, a Bugsnak rancher. I headed to Simmering Springs, where I was told that I could find him, but as I walked in, I met this purple grumpus. Who are you?
What a meritless question.
Okay. They appear to be some kind of scientist, and explained to me the process of gastronomic biochemistry.
You've likely witnessed grumpus limbs transforming into Bugsnax.
Indeed.
I call this process snackification.
I call it unhealthy. After this wonderful conversation, they gave me the Snaktooth, which would allow me to choose which limb to snackify. Please don't eat your leg. Oh, I hate the way you walk so much. I continued along the coast, stumbling across a new chocolate sauce, which I gladly took, before finding Gramble and Wiggle on the beach. What is going on here? Oh my god, vocals. Oh! From what I gathered with the powers of journalistic observation, Wiggle was trying to, lull Gramble to sleep so she could eat his pets? Kinda toxic. Anyway, following that musical number, I introduced myself to Gramble and asked him about moving back to Snaxburg. Although he wasn't opposed to the idea and was running out of room to keep his Bugsnax, he told me that some of them had gone missing and he couldn't return until they'd been found. Of course, I offered to help find them, and to aid in my quest, Gramble introduced me to Sprout, a little strabby in a hamster ball that was trained to follow a laser pointer. Okay, Buggy Ball. Guide. Oh, are you okay? After freeing my new companion, I set out to the beach to catch the 3 peel bugs that Gramble had lost. I spotted a bunch of new Bugsnax down there, but the ones that I was looking for typically stayed in little hidey holes. The first one was in a hollowed out log that I guided Sprout through, shoving the peel bug out and catching it in midair, might I add. I caught a crapple as well, but realized my bag was full, so offloaded a couple Bugsnax into Filbo, who gladly took them off my hands. I sincerely apologize. Having freed up some space, I caught the remaining peel bugs and returned them to Gramble.
I still got 2 Queebles missing, but I want you to bring them to me without catching them in your trap.
What? Gramble, I don't have time for your freaking shenanigans. By covering Sprout's buggy ball with chocolate, I was able to lead a little Queeble parade back to Gramble's ranch. Come get the chocolate. And was rewarded handsomely for my efforts. I get to keep Sprout? Not only have we gotten to keep our new little companion, but Gramble also agreed to return to Snaxburg. 2 friends in one, baby. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows though, because as soon as I got back, there was an altercation occurring.
I wouldn't have come back if I knew you were here.
Oh, we got some beef, okay. Do you have time for an interview, Wambus? You fascinate me. As a human? Not a human. A Grample. Grumpus. What game am I playing? Unlike Filbo, Wambus was a man of few words. He described Bugsnax as
pesky, tasty, and confusing.
Truer words have never been said. What's your deal with Gramble, Wambus?
That weepy little rancher thinks all Bugsnax are his pets.
Yeah, okay. So, not to get too deep, but where's your wife? Wambus explained that his marriage to Triffany had grown tense after too many fights, so she went off to research some skeletons or something. I don't feel like a journalist. I feel like a therapist, honestly. Unfortunately, Wambus didn't have much to say about Lizbert's disappearance, but he did give me some evidence pertaining to what she may have been doing. The door is attached to some ancient mechanisms. It looks like it might take at least 3 grumpuses to activate. Oh, this is valuable information. For your info, I will give you a snackery, and I'm going to put it on your nose.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. To further demonstrate my appreciation, I offered to help him cultivate Bugsnax on his farm, but that would have to wait for the time being since I also had an interview with Gramble to take care of.
I've never done an interview before. How's it work?
I talk to you, and then you talk back. It's a very simple concept. Gramble was probably the biggest fan of Bugsnax yet, but not a fan of eating them. To him, they were his children, and he was their Bugsnak daddy. He explained to me that he left Snaxburg when Lizbert went missing because people started using his ranch like a grocery store with so little food to go around. In terms of Gramble's beef with Wambus, apparently Wambus straight up kidnapped a bunch of his Bugsnax, so he escaped to the beach to start a new ranch. What happened to Lizbert?
Sometimes I wake up at night and I'm out of bed, lost in the woods. I think I see Lizbert out there watching me like a vengeful spirit.
My god, Gramble, you have inner demons. Despite how poorly that interview went, Gramble gave me the key to a diary that Lizbert had dropped in his barn, which would definitely prove useful. Additionally, Gramble was now taking donations to refill his barn, so I dropped off a shishka bug before heading to Beffica's with my new key. I had a bit of an inkling that maybe it would open up Beffica's diary, but when I tried it out, nope, it's not Beffica's diary key. My bad. Sorry, Beffica. I decided to stay and chat for a bit, and Beffica mentioned that new kinds of Bugsnax appear at night, so I took a look around, spotting this new white Strabby. It was like a shiny Pokemon. It had to be mine, and eventually I caught it along with this weenie worm. I felt a little bad for snooping through Beffica's things, so I fed her my prized weenie worm as a bit of an apology. Oh, God. Against my will, Beffica and I were becoming best friends. A weenie worm is all it takes, I guess. But to solidify our BFF status and convince her to move back to Snaxburg, she needed me to dig up some dirt.
Wambus acts totally mysterious before he goes to bed around 10 every night. I want you to find out what he's up to and tell me.
10 p.m. Oh my god, it's literally 10 p.m. right now. Hold on, get me back there. Wambus is doing something sussy. Oh, Wambus. Oh.
Farming didn't go so well today.
Oh, poor Wambus.
But I won't give up yet.
Is that Cactus Triffany?
I would hug your cactus facsimile, but it would only hurt me further.
Oh, no. I didn't see a thing. I discovered the secret.
OMG, Wambus has a fake cactus wife? See you around town, bestie.
We are not besties. Never say get my name out of your mouth. Can I read your diary now, by the way? Oh, I can. I stole the diary, but it turns out it's a fake. Beffica, you mastermind. I returned to Snaxburg, foiled by Beffica's genius, and donated a couple more Bugsnax to the ranch before hijacking Filbo's bed for a quick nappy. And when I woke up, I discovered these funny little frog plushies in Filbo's house. Oh, I can yeet the frog. I'm gonna burn it. Can I burn it? I can! Filbo, look what I've done to your possessions. Do you feel nothing about this? Okay. With Beffica, Gramble, and Wambus now back in town, Filbo wanted to throw a welcome back party. Sure, let's do it. It was quite the shindig. Wambus stood awkwardly as Filbo danced alone with his frog plushie that continued to burn. Where's the other one? I yeeted it so far away. What is this? I picked up a video diary. Oh, I was just looking for some other things of Filbo's to burn. There was a lot of tension, to say the least. Not only was Beffica being a party pooper, but Wambus and Gramble's beef had started up again, and it really escalated this time.
Bugsnax will never love you.
Oh, that was a little too far.
You don't know a thing about love.
Oh!
That's why your wife left you.
Oh my god!
Well, that wasn't ideal.
No!
I just realized you haven't had any Bugsnax yet. Oh, you must be starving. Have a scratty on me. Maybe we can end this night on a high note.
I don't want, like, my limb to be a strawberry. My journalistic integrity forbids me, precisely.
How can you write about Bugsnax without first-hand experience?
It's called bias, Filbo. Okay, well, now I'm being forced to eat it. This isn't consensual, but fine.
That's the spirit.
Oh. What the? I'm dying. I'm dead. My eye is a strabby. One strabby down the hatch, and I ended up sick in the outhouse. Turns out I'm allergic to Bugsnax, so that blows. But I mean, at least the horrible party was over. Oh my god, Jesus. That freaking thing is still on fire. He doesn't even care.
Hey, buddy. I got something to show you. Follow me. Ta-da! It's your very own mailbox.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
I think you might have a letter right now.
Oh my god, Filbo. Shut up. My first ever letter was a thoughtful thank you from Filbo, but this would definitely not be the last piece of mail I'd be receiving. Throughout my time on Snaktooth Island, I'd be getting a bunch of side quests in the mail, 110 in total. Some important, some tedious, and some just downright stupid, but as a bonus, I sometimes receive decorative items as a reward, and in this particular instance, I got a shelf and a dandelion.
You could keep all your new gifts in your very own hut.
Okay, I have a house now. I felt like I needed some better decorations to bring the place to life, and a single shelf with a flower wasn't gonna cut it, so I headed over to Filbo's hut to try and nab some of his dolls. What are you doing in here, Beffica? Undeterred, I yoinked Filbo's frog plushie, chucked it at Beffica's face, and then plopped it on my... Oop, and then plopped the... No, okay. And then... Good enough. With my hut now adequately decorated, I set out to do a bit more exploring and noticed a new area nearby called Scorched Gorge. Not only were there a bunch of new Bugsnax like the Spuddy and Cheapoof, but there was also a new Grumpus.
Hey, you! There, up here! Follow me and I'll show you the deal of a lifetime!
He looks like one of those, like, balloons at a car dealership. And honestly, that assessment wasn't far off, because after collecting a couple new hot sauces, I met Cromdo, a rude salesman who offered to sell me this bridge for 100 fricking Bugsnax. And that wasn't even the worst of it. Look at this sign. Some assembly required, buy at your own risk, all sales are final, offer void where prohibited, shirt and shoes optional, may contain nuts or shellfish, and guarantees not guaranteed. 100 Bugsnax was far too many, so I refused the bridge, but Cromdo wouldn't give up that easily.
Feast your eyes on this beautiful lunch pad.
Of course, it wasn't free, but he said he'd give it to me if I could get his windmills spinning again. So I positioned myself, calculated my trajectory, and then fell right into the canyon. This whole falling off cliffs thing is honestly getting old. Clueless about how to cross the gap, I returned to Snaxburg, where yet again, I bumped into Filbo. As usual, he was asking far too much of me, and basically requested that I be everyone's therapist and help them sort through their personal issues, which I was professionally and emotionally unprepared to handle. Okay. Okay. Compared to that, the lunch pad seemed like a walk in the park, so I pulled a Yui and went straight back to Scorched Gorge. Like before, I tried to launch myself across with very little success, but after another solid bonk to the noggin, I had a brain blast. I was supposed to launch the rocks at the windmills. Soon enough, I got all 3 windmills spinning again, but being the dodgy businessman he is, Cromdo charged me 3 cheap hoofs for just using the lunch pad. I think I have to launch something up to hit it. After lots of troubleshooting, I realized that I could launch my trap with the lunch pad and yoink the cheap hoofs that way, and with 3 of them captured, I returned to Cromdo with payment. That's just horrible. With all this hard work done, Cromdo declared that he would be moving back to Snaxburg, but first, he needed me to turn his feet into popsicles so he could carry all his inventory through the hot sand. Not only was that nonsensical, but I was tired of catching Bugsnax, so I continued exploring Scorched Gorge instead and bumped into Triffany. The real one, not the cactus. Though I invited her back to Snaxburg, she seemed set on continuing her archaeological research. Apparently, she'd found some fossilized Bugsnax in the stomachs of these skeletons, and tasked me with catching some live ribblepedes to see if that might be what these ancient people were eating. Right away, I spotted a ribblepede hiding in the ancient ruins. Oh, I hate the way that moves. I doused it in some hot sauce and snatched it up before stumbling across these mysterious cave paintings. The big moth. This guy, I'm trying to like uncover lost ancient history and he's just like spat, 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 spat. With all 3 ribblepedes in tow, I returned to Triffany for a snacky, which was regrettable as usual, and then followed her back to the cave paintings. Okay, let's see what all this means. Apparently, grumpuses had been living on Snaktooth Island and eating Bugsnax long before Lisbeth had discovered them. Not only that, but the murals also depicted a secret chamber in the canyon, and it was apparently now my job to find it. Seems like no one can do anything for themselves around here. I mean, maybe that's why the ancient civilization went extinct. They didn't have a journalist to do all their dirty work. With the help of this spuddy, I was able to find the secret chamber, which Triffany surmised was actually a burial site. And with that all tied up for now, I convinced Triffany to return to Snaxburg with me. When I returned, I found Triffany and Wambus making amends. Look at us, reigniting love, fixing marriages, turning limbs into barbecue. I figured while I was in town, I would donate some more Bugsnax to Gramble's ranch, which actually ended up increasing my inventory size. That's so good. Oh my god. Hi. Get away from me. But now that Triffany was back in town, my first priority was to get an interview with her and see if she had any useful information.
You know, out here, it's only a matter of time before you fall in a hole or get wedged in a crevice.
Tell me about it.
Especially with all these earthquakes shifting the geography around.
Triffany had a more pessimistic outlook on Lisbert's whereabouts, suggesting it might take 1,000 years until someone found her. But she also gave me one of Lisbert's journals that she'd stashed before her disappearance. Using the diary key I'd gotten from Gramble earlier, I was able to open it and found yet another clue with a partial code for opening some kind of door. The rest of the night was spent completing various tasks, like retrieving Beffica's lost bag, as well as catching a sweetie fly and snack pod, which I donated to Gramble for more inventory space. And seeing as I was on a Bugsnak catching streak, I felt it was as good a time as any to return to Simmering Springs and round up some more Bugsnax, including a Tropica bug and grape skeeto. While doing so, I also ran into Wiggle again.
Aloha, darling.
Hello. And I cut straight to the chase. Will you please come back to Snaxburg? Of course, she declined until I agreed to, what a surprise, catch some Bugsnax for her, but once I'd given her some new grape skeeto hair and poptic feet, she started seeing some sense.
I look ridiculous.
Yes, you do. And finally, 4 more Bugsnax later, our most demanding customer yet had agreed to return to Snaxburg. There she goes with those little popcorn feet of hers. With yet another grumpus to interview, I made my way back as well, but before I could find Wiggle, I ran into Filbo, who suggested we have another little reunion around the old campfire. Fine. This never goes well, I tell ya. Just like before, things went downhill very quickly. The conversation somehow jumped from Gramble's night terrors to the piles of bones Triffany found in the ruins. Why are we talking about this? But then, all of a sudden, a strong wind passed, putting out the fire.
Hey, buddy, would you mind picking up some firewood?
What the? Why me? Why is everybody looking at me expectantly? What the heck? Why don't you do it? You're the mayor. Oh, God. Fine. I retrieved a single piece of firewood, and the conversation continued, with Beffica talking about grumpus bones bearing teeth marks and some predatory animal on the island. You know, just nice table talk.
Time out. I gotta use a little grumps room.
But as Filbo stepped out to go to the bathroom, we suddenly heard...
Oh, Grump! So somebody gonna check on Filbo?
Oh, who? Oh, me? Why don't you, Beffica? What about the rest of you? What? Oh my god. Filbo, buddy. Oh my god. You good in there? Okay.
Oh, hey, buddy. Sorry, I got a little too spooked, and I came here to calm down.
What I thought was Filbo's case of the runs was really just him running from his social anxiety, and apparently he hadn't heard the growling at all. Quickly, I turned back to investigate the outhouse, scared of what I might find, but when I did... What? It's open? The outhouse was empty. Guys, I made a toilet paper tower. Come look. Nobody's coming. I found fuel for the fire. I continued to throw flammable items at Wiggle as she went on about the queen of Bugsnax. Oh, they're all on fire. Oh, her guitar's gonna catch on fire.
Something is lurking out there.
I'm freaking out, Wambus!
Don't worry, Gramble. We'll go check it out.
If something goes wrong, sacrifice Filbo first.
You got it, girl. That loud sound was definitely cause for concern, so cautiously, we checked out the mill. Hello? Hello? Filbo, you want to stop lollygagging and actually help? Good lord. This was legitimately creepy. Like, whatever crashed through the mill was dangerous and would probably eat us. You want to, like, take the lead since you're the mayor? Or... okay. We walked up the stairs, afraid of what we might find, only to see Chandlo, a brawny builder bro, surprisingly spiritual. Sup, dude?
Chandlo?
Whoa, it's Filbo!
Apparently, Chandlo had come to pick up some stuff he'd left in his house and was in no mood to stick around.
Catch you later, bros!
But like, was Chandlo the one in the outhouse? Were those sounds his bowel movements? All important questions to consider as I returned to the campfire.
Don't worry, folks. I'm fine.
Nobody cares.
Oh, and the noise was just Chandlo.
This news was a relief to everyone, but as the campfire came to an end, I was left to wonder if there really was a killer monster on the island, and if so, could that have been the gruesome end that Lizbert had met? With another disastrous campfire gathering in the books, I finally had the chance to take Wiggle aside for an interview and started off by asking her why she'd left town.
That's simple. I was following Gramble. He certainly knows his way around snacks.
Are you using Gramble to eat his Bugsnax? That's so messed up.
Goodness, no. I love Gramble. I would never. He's far too sweet. Like a little strabby. No, I would never take advantage of him, no matter how easy it would be.
And most importantly, I asked about Lizbert. According to Wiggle, the night Lizbert went missing, she'd run into the woods to look for her, only to come across a massive Bugsnak.
Something terrifying, towering over the trees.
The queen of Bugsnax, as Wiggle called her. When I inquired further about this queen of Bugsnax, I noticed Wiggle's wiggle began to slow and then stop. Whatever she saw the day Lizbert went missing was scary. Scary enough to stop even the wiggliest of Wiggles from wiggling. All right, perfect. Thanks so much. Following our interview, Wiggle gave me a very key piece of information. A map showing Lizbert's last known location. And when I pulled out my map, I noticed a new path had appeared. Sugar Pine Woods! This is a new area. As was always the case entering a new area, there was lots of stuff to discover. New terrain, new sauces, and of course, new Bugsnax to catch. So I got to it catching a honeybee and exploring this new region. There were a couple areas of the map we couldn't get to yet, but I did notice a couple of Chandlo's hoopable orange sport orbs, so I figured he would be the grumpus we needed to look out for. And eventually, I found him standing in front of this little wooden cabin.
Snorpy! Snorpy! Bro, Snorpy, get out here!
Snorpy, who I learned was the ingenious inventor behind my snack trap, refused to come outside, staying in the cabin to work on his latest technological marvel.
Bro, if you're not coming outside, I'm bringing the outside to you!
Oh my god! What was that?
No, what? You cannot lift my entire house!
Oh, yes, I can! I'ma lift your crib, dog!
Chandlo clearly had a strong personality, and when I asked him to return to Snaxburg, he refused, saying that it would give Snorpy anxiety. It was pretty clear that these two were a package deal. We gotta get Snorpy. Well, how do you already have like a Snail leg? You must be... What is this? What is going on here? Turns out, Snorpy wasn't just an ingenious inventor. He was also a full-fledged conspiracy theorist. Had the corkboard with red string and everything. And at the center of it all, the Grumpinati. Okay, you're quite a... Oh, so sorry. All right, Chandlo sent me.
Oh, he did he? What is your business with me?
Will you come back to Snaxburg? Actually, I'm just gonna say anything I can do to help.
I propose a test. Here. Take my newest invention.
In order to help Chandlo retrieve his basketballs, Snorpy had built the Snack Grappler, and since he wouldn't come outside, he enlisted me to test it out.
Oh, that's so freaking good. Oh my gosh. Look at this thing, Chandlo.
Nice, Dawg. I knew he'd warm up to you. All right, follow me.
And pinch those little cheeks. I immediately got uber distracted, throwing a sick air ball, pulling this bridge down, and breaking down a rock wall, revealing a new pathway. Sorry, I got distracted.
Problem is, I lost my balls. They're stuck all over the place.
Upon Chandlo's request, I started collecting all his basketballs before getting sidetracked by the Snail. But eventually, I was able to gather them all up into the basket. Your balls have been secured.
All right, you got my balls back. Check it out. There's a Snail right over there.
There's not actually.
I know it looks like a sticky dump truck full of carbs, but it's actually a master climber.
Can you imagine if somebody called you a sticky dump truck full of carbs? I fed Chandlo one of the sticky dump trucks to match Snorpy and then raced him back to the cabin, taking a detour through the snowy area and for the third time in 10 minutes, getting totally distracted. But this time, it was by a Bugsnak we'd actually been looking for. Oh, what is that? Oh, big bobsicle, big bobsicle.
I'm gonna try using chocolate on the big bobsicle. Oh my god. Hello, would you please help me? What is it doing? What is it doing? Ah, let me up there. Let me up.
The bobsicle was not as easy to catch as I thought it'd be, but eventually I was able to grab a pair of them for Cromdo's little feetsies. Of course, Chandlo had beaten me to the cabin and thus requested that I gather more Snails to toss down his gullet. In the process of finding them, I managed to get a Charmello by luring it into the water with chocolate, as well as a couple honeybees, which soon became Chandlo's hands.
Oh, Grump. My body's tingling. I think that's the power.
I don't think so. With all those favors done, Chandlo finally agreed to return to Snaxburg, but only if Snorpy came with. Luckily, because I'd helped Chandlo so much, Snorpy seemed to trust me a little more, enough to formally introduce himself.
I am Snorpington Fizzlebean, engineer and seeker of truths. Here, new chum, lean in close so that I may bestow a hug on you. Ah.
Okay. Okay.
Ah, what an excellent hugging experience that was. We shall have to do that many more times. Now, I need your help. Are you willing to risk your life for the greater good?
I would die for you.
Splendid!
After pledging my life to Snorpy, he explained that he'd hidden another secret device in the watchtower nearby, and as I went to look for it...
Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah?
Ah, that's right. I planted a radio tracking device on you during our mutual hugging.
While Snorpy waffled on in my ear, I entered the watchtower, which immediately went into lockdown mode. Ah! Probably some sort of emergency protocol to protect against the Grumpinati. Turns out, a flying Bugsnak had actually set off the alarm system, so like everything else on this island, it was up to me to fix the problem. Now that I had Snorpy's new trip shot device though, I'd be able to clothesline the Bugsnak and free myself from the tower. Oh! My first attempt was not very successful, but soon after, I was able to deploy it, knocking down the Charmello, but also catching myself on fire in the process. I returned to the cabin, a flame-broiled grumpus.
Alright. Hello, Snorpy.
Ah, chum. I have such a craving for quookies. Why, my craving is so terrible that I would like my teeth to be quookies, so that I may taste my own teeth, you see.
Once I caught a quookie and some Charmellos and converted a significant portion of Snorpy's body into sugar, he finally agreed to return to Snaxburg. And Chandlo seemed very happy with the news.
Here it comes!
What expert hugging that is!
Not only had we brought back 2 more Grumpuses to interview, but there was actually another benefit to Chandlo returning to town.
Bro, come check this out! Filbo told me you were living here, and I thought, you know what this place needs? Walls!
I have walls
it's
on my
my bad
house?
for not finishing it in the
Thank
first
you,
place,
Chandlo.
though. Show your walls, Dawg!
I will. I felt very accomplished after that adventure, and decided to head back to Simmering Springs because there was still a couple more Bugsnaks we had left to catch.
I'm thinking it might be related to this bell?
Oh my god. What are those? Upon closer inspection, I discovered they were waft stackeracks. Okay, chill. And let me just say, my attempt to catch them did not go particularly well. Okay, perfect, thanks. Yep, thanks.
stop that? You can stop now.
I kept getting like tornadoed into the air, but luckily my new tripwire did the trick, and after snagging this grumpy snack pod, I'd successfully caught every Bugsnak in Simmering Springs. With that done, I then made my way to Scorched Gorge and delivered the bopsicles to Cromdo, allowing him to come back to Snaxburg as well.
Oh, I'm already sweating. It's too hot, too hot.
What a guy. Though I'd finished helping Cromdo, I still had 3 Bugsnax left to catch in Scorched Gorge, the Scorpeño being the most difficult of all. And although I was able to stun the guy with my tripwire, I couldn't catch him while he was still on fire.
In the water! This is the fight of my life. This is the fight of my life. This is the fight of my life.
But after much trial and error, I scooped up the 2 remaining Bugsnax afterward, meaning I'd now successfully trapped every specimen in Scorched Gorge. Now that so many grumps were back in Snaxburg, things were growing tense. I ran into back-to-back arguments between Cromdo and Beffica, as well as Gramble and Wambus, all while Filbo slept soundly. That's my mare. And while I was in Scorched Gorge, I remembered a quest I'd gotten earlier from Wiggle to catch a Bugsnak that only comes out during the full moon, the white Cheepoof. With this sacred Cheepoof in hand, I woke up Wiggle for a midnight snack and got her creative juices going enough to sing me a sample of her new song.
Bugsnax! Bugsnax on the island in my mouth! What do you think?
I hated it. Oh, that was great.
Of course, Wiggle knew how bad her song was.
My whole career was an accident. Sorry, darling. I need to be alone for a while.
Though Wiggle seemed to be at a bit of a low point, the scoop came first, so naturally, I followed her around all night.
I think Beffica wanted me to, like, get the scoop on her. What? Gramble, what do you do? Okay, where's she going? Where's she going?
And strangely enough, Wiggle and a sleepwalking Gramble were both headed toward the same barn.
Oh, is she eating Gramble's Bugsnax? You horrible person.
Obviously, Gramble was totally oblivious. He literally walked right by her.
Darling, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm just looking to spend some time with Gramble, alone.
He just walked out.
But the evidence was undeniable.
Oh, you're a rotten person.
There wasn't much I could do about this though, what with everyone being asleep, so after a quick house remodel, I decided to go to the Sugar Pine Woods to try and catch the Bugsnax I had left to find there. First thing, I caught myself a big bopsicle, which was actually my 50th unique Bugsnak, and then wrangled with this sprinklepede for a while.
Oh my god, you're an idiot. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Put me down. Okay. That was horrifying.
As the sun rose, I caught the elusive rainbow sweetie fly and then set my sights on this region's peel bug.
Ooh. What is in here? Oh. The nutty snack pod. Dope.
After a long time searching, I finally found the peel bug hidey hole, but as I was trying to get Sprout to do his thing...
Holy shit. Oh my god. That was horrifying.
Yeah, I legitimately got jump scared by a bopsicle. I took a bit of time to recover and then sent Sprout through the tunnel, finally catching ourselves the yellow peel bug.
So we got that one, and that is the last Bugsnak of this area.
Having now caught every single type of peel bug, I shifted my focus to some more artistic endeavors.
Okay, now let us turn somebody into a peel bug person. I honestly feel like Wambus maybe needs the most work. Oh. Knock, knock. Ah, perfect.
Evening.
Hello. I wasn't listening outside the door or anything.
I gave Wambus a quick makeover using every type of peel bug, and when I was finished...
That is really something else.
As a reward for his patience and cooperation, I offered him a Spuddy to assist in his research on growing Bugsnak crops. Instead of taking it though, he asked me to feed it to Filbo and then wait by the outhouse to collect the fertilizer.
Okay, so I've just been assigned to collect Filbo's poop. Let's all keep that in mind.
I did, as Wambus asked, turning Filbo's schnoz into a potato and then collecting his boom boom from the outhouse.
Whew. That's bound to be potent enough for my soil.
With that horrible task out of the way, I donated my nutty snack pod to Gramble's ranch, coincidentally bringing us to a fully maxed out inventory. And as our pockets had been expanding, the town had been too, and with so many new grumps back in Snaxburg, we had a lot of interviewing to do, so I began with Cromdo.
Who are you?
Business king, sales savant, future CEO of Starbugs, the one, the only, Cromdo Face!
Your last name is Face?
Cromdo explained that he'd moved to Snaktooth Island because he saw Bugsnax as a potential business opportunity.
Delicious! Irresistible! Marketable! They're gonna catapult me straight to the top of Moneytown, baby!
But his dreams of marketing Bugsnax never panned out because after stealing, or my bad, salvaging Lizburd's Bugsnax, Beffica had accused him of being a thief and even planted her diary in his hut set to frame him.
So I did what any honest grump would do. I ran.
Given the circumstances, it wasn't shocking that Cromdo thought Lizbert to be a selfish, uncaring, and egotistical grumpus that abandoned everyone, allegedly escaping with Eggabell using the only boat left on Snaktooth Island.
Just go check out where the boat was. See what you think of Lizbert after that.
Apparently, Cromdo's little map led directly to the location where Lizbert had possibly fled, but I had a hard time believing him. After all, with the deceitful business practices he'd been doing, he wasn't the most trustworthy character. So I moved on to my next interview with Giga Chad Chandlo. Chandlo had only positive things to say about Lizbert and Eggabell and had actually acted as Eggabell's personal trainer, but had nothing conclusive to contribute about their whereabouts. His insights weren't of much help, but I was still grateful for his time.
Alright, thanks Chandlo. You really slam dunked my questions.
Bro, that's not... just... don't.
What was helpful though was this key that he gave me, which unlocked a chest in Eggabell's hut containing her exercise progress. I was getting some fantastic insights through these interviews, so after a celebratory basket, I met up with Snorpy to conduct our final one of the day. Of course, due to Snorpy's fear of the Grumpinati, he wanted to keep his identity private throughout the interview.
Who are you?
I am Redacted. I was dragged here by my dearest friend, Redacted.
Any info on Lizbert?
Elizabeth Megafig was a curious sort and hadn't a foolish bone in her body. She could rival me in wit and Redacted. Though in arm wrestling.
Apparently, Lizbert and Snorpy exchanged terrible secrets, but he refused to tell me what they were, so I gave up and ended the interview.
Excellent interrogation, chum. So great that you deserve another hugging experience.
Oh no, that's not okay.
This must not go on the record. Elizabeth Megafig discovered something on the island and came to me for help. An entrance to the underground, locked behind a strange device.
In confidence, Snorpy handed me the map to a mysterious door, my biggest lead yet.
Okay, that was a lot. Near the mountain peak, hang left from the trail and take a narrow ledge north. Pressure plates won't activate. I think the ancient grumpuses need to be fed first. Oh.
Before heading off to follow the map, I took the key Chandlo had given me and opened up Eggabell's chest where I found another video diary.
We still can't watch these yet? I don't know if there's a projector. Oh, there's a projector right here. I am stupid.
The first video showed Eggabell tending to Lizbert's wounds after a particularly dangerous Bugsnak hunting trip. In the next one, Eggabell was upset after a crazy day in the clinic, and of course, Lizbert cheered her up with a tasty Bugsnak. And in the third, we saw Eggabell training with Chandlo so she could toughen up, catch Bugsnax herself, and be less reliant on Lizbert. I pondered over these new insights about Lizbert and Eggabell as I fed Chandlo a Scorpeño and gave him a beautiful pepper schnoz. But there wasn't much to do about these revelations except continue on with the various villager quests I'd been assigned and move forward with my investigation. As I began to dig up some dirt on Cromdo per Beffica's request, Filbo urged me to get some rest, and I figured after all those interviews today, I definitely deserved it. But soon after falling asleep, I was quickly awoken by a startling sound.
Oh my god, Beffica is screaming.
Something's wrong, buddy. We better take a look.
What is happening?
Apparently, Beffica and Gramble had seen some creepy figure walk into town, but it wasn't a grumpus.
It turned into a bunch of Bugsnax and, scattered.
Any fear about this Bugsnak monster seemed to quickly disappear as a squabble broke out. Cromdo accused Beffica of stirring up drama, Beffica accused him of lying, and then Gramble got targeted for not sleeping enough and being too protective of his Bugsnak children. It was quite the mess, and after a quick slap fight between Gramble and Wambus, we all calmed down and agreed to search the town's perimeter for any clues. As everyone spread out, I noticed a rusty spade on the ground that smelled like Bugsnax, whatever that means. I also found some messy paw prints and a busted lock, which meant that something had definitely broken into the ranch. I followed the paw prints through the garden and into the outhouse, but that's where the trail went cold.
I can do my toilet paper tower again. Last time nobody cared. Triffany, look. Still nobody cares.
And after a bit more snooping around, I found the final clue. The words, "No more Bugsnax," carved into the town sign.
Well, what did you find?
I found there was... It's probably aliens.
This probably wasn't the best way to open discussion because everyone started offering their own theories as to what they believed it was. Cromdo called the thing a monster, while Triffany used the more culturally sensitive term cryptid, and of course, Wiggle believed it was the queen of Bugsnax.
She's giving us a warning!
But regardless of what it was, one thing was clear. Snaxburg was becoming a dangerous place to live, and people were starting to regret their decision to move back. However, to my surprise, Filbo really stepped up and delivered an inspiring speech.
We don't have Lizbert, but
We have each other.
Thankfully, everyone agreed to stay, but to keep our strength in numbers, we needed everyone in Snaxburg, and there were still a couple grumps that hadn't returned yet. This included Floofty, who was at Boiling Bay, Shelda, who was last seen in Sizzlin' Sands, and Eggabell, who could have been anywhere. But with morale boosted, the mysterious monster out of mind, and the promise of a big welcome party upon the other Grumpus's return, the meeting was adjourned. Following some calming hut decoration the next morning, I set out to find the remaining Grumpuses, starting with Floofty. Seeing as I'd first met them in Simmering Springs, I had an inkling that the entrance to Boiling Bay might be somewhere in that area. And lo and behold, my hunch was right, because a new passage had just opened up.
New area, baby.
Right out of the gate, I snatched up a Sodew, Green Crapple, Palatos Grande, and a Golden Queeble, but I wasn't able to figure out this Bugsnak hiding in a coconut. After one pathetic attempt,
that didn't work.
I gave up and spoke with Floofty, Snorpy's equally scientific sibling who was seeking refuge in this shipwreck and really embracing the piratey vibe with a new peg leg. But like, I could have sworn I'd turned their leg into a strabby the first time we met.
Please don't eat your leg.
No one listens to me. And in the vein of not listening, Floofty was not intent on returning to Snaxburg. If there's anything I've learned from my time on Snaktooth Island though, it's that you can get Grumpuses to do pretty much anything with some Bugsnax and a couple favors. In Floofty's case, this meant helping with their latest experiment, the upgraded Snaktivator, which would allow me to fully customize a Grumpus with any Bugsnak they'd eaten. And let me tell you, this was way too much power in my abnormally small hands. To give it a good test, they asked me to bring them a Cocoa Mite, which meant it was back to cracking this nut. But I soon found out that by throwing it in lava, I get separated into two and incapacitate them with the trip shot, allowing me to feed them to Floofty and take the Snaktivator for a real spin.
Everything is a coconut.
It looks so stupid. With that, the Snaktivator 2.0 was officially ready for business. Floofty swiftly demanded that I give them limbs of Noodler, Cocoa Mite, Banopper, and Strabby. I took this as an opportunity to explore Boiling Bay some more, catching a Sherby before entering the lava cave where I found a Noodler swimming around. I couldn't catch it while it was on fire though, so I lured in this Palatos Grande to hopefully cool it down and...
Okay, this is going well. This is actually going well. This is going according to plan. Yeah, pretty much.
Going from frozen solid to lit on fire in the span of a single second was quite the experience, but eventually, after covering the Palatos in hot sauce, I was able to neutralize the Noodler, allowing me to catch it. Upon turning their limbs into all the requested Bugsnax, Floofty began a bit of a philosophical tangent.
Is there a threshold of grumpusness? When every cell of my body is Bugsnax, will I remain Floofty Fizzlebean?
I mean, if someone turned my arm into a piece of spaghetti, I'd definitely be asking the big questions too. In order to continue their research, Floofty realized that they had to return to Snaxburg, which was a huge relief for me. And now that I had my upgraded Snaktivator, it was only natural that I went on a bit of a Snaktivating spree. I turned Wambus's limbs into curly fries, Snorpy's into Cinnasnails, and then bestowed Cromdo with the Cheeto bod of his dreams, capping it off with some Crapple horns.
Okay, good night. I have too much power.
Though my creativity was just overflowing. Others in the town were not so fortunate. For weeks, Wiggle had been struggling with finding musical inspiration, but said that she'd seen the Queen of Bugsnax swimming in the ocean, and that eating it was the only thing that could cure her creative constipation. Together, by the light of the silvery moon, we ventured to Boiling Bay, and to summon the beast, Wiggle performed what I can only describe as a siren song.
Oh my god, this game is such a fever dream. What is going on? What? Mega Maki?
Turns out, Wiggle was right. There was a massive Bugsnak swimming around at night. Once I'd analyzed its movement, I set up a trip shot, sending all the mini Maki segments flying. I netted as many as I could, but the remainder soon reconnected and slithered back into the air. Using these stone pillars that had appeared, I had to trip up the rest of the remaining segments, but
it destroyed it?
Truly, this was a formidable opponent. Using a coconut tree as an anchor, I tripped up the Mega Maki again, and at last...
I got it! I got the big one!
Of course, I fed the Mega Maki to Wiggle, but just like all our previous attempts...
Nothing.
Wait, Wiggle, I can feed you more sushi.
Following this failed endeavor, I found Wiggle in bed, depressed and creatively unfulfilled, so I did for her what she probably would not have done for me, and fed her more sushi, turning her legs, arms, head, and entire body into a Maki roll.
Okay. Good night.
How do you get transformed into a whole piece of sushi and then just go right back to bed? Like, I hope she's okay.
I need to do that to other people. Beffica, wake up. We have business to conduct.
Next, I loaded up Beffica with a bunch of different snack pods, and after switching things around, settled on a final look.
Okay, Beffica. Oh, yep. Good night.
Look how peaceful she is. What an angel. After briefly reflecting on my life choices, I decided it was time to conduct an interview with Floofty.
Why is there a leg in your hut? What?
Would
There
you prefer
is?
I keep my severed leg in the outhouse.
What the oh. Okay. Any info on Lisbert?
Floofty was clearly not a fan of Lisbert, but did seem to have a fondness for Eggabell, who was eager to participate in their research. That was until Shelda, a prophet serving the will of Mother Nature that we had yet to meet, interfered. Shelda implanted fear about Floofty's experiments and told Eggabell that she needed to choose between her partner Lisbert and her safety, or Floofty. Of course, Eggabell chose Lisbert, and according to Floofty, that was the death of her.
You've wasted enough of my time now. Leave.
As our interview winded down to an end, Floofty handed me a mysterious key. But before I could investigate any further, they asked me to assist them with some research on Bugsnak regeneration, and this time, it wasn't just an arm or a leg.
I'm going to remove my head, and I am reasonably certain that Bugsnax will regrow it in its entirety.
Okay, look, bioethics isn't my forte, but this seemed extremely unsafe and morally questionable, to put it lightly, so I offered to gather volunteers to make sure things went as smoothly as possible. I started by asking Wambus, who gave me a very definitive
no.
And as I searched for willing volunteers, I decided to do some more beta testing with the upgraded Snaktooth as well. You know, for science. Our first subject was Filbo.
Oh my god. These people. Oh my god, it's horrifying. I feel like Beffica needs some work. Hold on.
Before and after.
Oh, okay, Beffica, we fixed you. Oh, please stop. Why does she match her camera? Oh, okay, I have an absolutely fantastic idea for a grumpus that I want to transform. Like, it's gonna be a game changer. But to do it, I need that little soda guy.
Once I'd nabbed a Sodu, I returned to Snaxburg to follow through with my plan.
Okay, where's the big man himself? Oh, there he is.
Want something?
Oh, yes, I do. Okay, so here's my idea. Hear me out. Cromdo. He's going to be entirely made of LaCroix. All right, there he is. Cromdo.
Not gonna lie, this is some of my best work yet. But once Cromdo was complete, I decided to finally get back on task.
I need to find people to help with Floofty's experiment. So far, nobody wants to. Maybe Filbo will.
But even good old Filbo refused to take part. And honestly, it wasn't really a shock.
All right, bad news, Floofty. Nobody wants to participate.
Undeterred, Floofty continued with their plan, requesting enough Bugsnax to transform their entire body.
I've gotten very good at that.
I headed to Simmering Springs to source Floofty's future body parts, catching a sweetie fly, a couple waft stackeracks, and a bunch of other Bugsnax, thoughtfully handpicked for their new custom look. And it was a bona fide monstrosity. Just a collection of breakfast foods and fruit, like a culinary Frankenstein. And speaking of Frankenstein, next thing I knew, we were standing around a bunch of horrifying machinery. From what I surmised, the plan was to saw Floofty's darling head off while a steady stream of Bugsnax funneled into their mouth to grow a new Bugsnak noggin. But like, where would your mouth be if your head was off? I was too frightened to consider the flaws in Floofty's methodology, and before I knew it, the saw blade began to lower.
Oh my god, no, stop! Thank you!
Luckily, Snorpy swooped in and stopped the operation, but of course, this only inflamed their sibling rivalry as Floofty called him a coward.
See, this is why nobody wants to help you.
Well, yikes. Oh my god, what the actual hell was that?
It was a jarring experience, to say the least, and although I wasn't able to help with Floofty's regeneration research, I could still give them the transformation of a lifetime.
Okay, so this is what we've landed on. I'm horrified, but at the same time, I kind of imagine like some carnival vibes, or like somebody who paddles a boat in a Venetian canal, but mixed together like they had a child. But let's get some of these little quests out of the way. We need a praying Picantus and a Scoopy Banoopy, but I don't know where to get either of those.
I wanted to get the ball rolling again with all our side quests, so I headed to Boiling Bay, determined to catch the flaming Cheepoof I'd missed before. With my tripwire, I was able to take the Cheepoof down and got a Palatos to put the fire out, allowing me to catch the little guy, but Palatos's fate was not as fortunate.
Oh my god, oops. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. This is not going well for you.
I left the poor guy to melt in the lava, Obi-Wan style, and with every Bugsnak caught in Boiling Bay, I trekked once again to Scorched Gorge because we still had one more grump to bring back to Snaxburg.
Alright, I'm seeing that we already have access to Sizzling Sands and that it was actually opened when Cromdo put the bridge down. So let us go verify this information.
Turns out Chandlo had actually repaired it.
All right, Sizzling Sands, here we come.
I walked into what was practically a barren wasteland and got straight to work, catching this cheeser, an enchilito, a flapjackerack, and a cockroach. And I'll be honest, these guys were just passed out on the ground waiting to be caught. Like, I didn't do a single thing.
Feels like in this area, if you just like wait for everybody to beat each other up, you can just get them all.
I did put in some work trapping this precious little eggler, and not long after, I came across Shelda, our final grump. Evidently, Shelda had turned to a monastic life in the desert, one of abstinence and self-denial, which included denying herself the consumption of Bugsnax. So before I could convince her to come back to Snaxburg, I needed to fetch her some cheese sauce to eat. You know, a staple in the spiritual world. After chucking an egg at Shelda's head, I set off to find her some cheese sauce, catching a couple Bugsnax along the way. This Buffalocust was really giving me grief though. Essentially, I needed to lure it into the water to extinguish him, allowing me to use my net, but he just could not figure it out.
Come please to the... Oh, you're just hitting your head off this tree. Okay, buddy, you need to like try a different approach.
No amount of ranch sauce could fix his problems, which is honestly good general advice. So I let him be and returned to Snaxburg with a backpack full of new snacks, hoping he'd reset while I was gone. I emptied all my new Bugsnax into Chandlo's mouth, and I mean, it was as good a time as any for a quick makeover.
Okay, this is our completed Chandlo. I like how the accents on the peppers match his flaming Cheeto body. Now let's go back to Sizzling Sands and hope that stuff respawned.
When I returned, I found that the Buffalocust had indeed reset, and with some carefully aimed ranch dressing, I had him break open this hole I found and jumped inside, hoping to find the cheese sauce. But instead of cheese sauce, I found myself in an underground ruins with grumpus skeletons all over the place. A dream come true for Triffany, I'm sure. I did catch a black raspberry, which was kind of exciting, but with no cheese sauce to be found, I launched back up to the surface to give the Buffalocust another go. And using sheer luck and absolutely zero skill, I managed to get him in the water. Oh! Got it. With that accomplished, I continued the hunt for cheese sauce, and at long last, cheese!
Oh, it was just that easy. Okay, I have your cheese.
Shelda seemed to very much enjoy her cheese sauce.
Yum is one, and one is craving rebirth.
Ew. But to convince Shelda to move back, I needed to find the black raspberry in the underground ruins from before and bring it to Shelda without trapping it.
Oh gosh, that's gonna be a whole thing.
I jumped back into the ruins and quickly found the black raspberry, covering Sprout with chocolate sauce to lead the little guy right to my lunch pad and boost him to the surface.
What once was lost now is found. The path to light determined.
What does that mean?
Was a metaphor.
I was getting tired of Shelda's metaphors, I'll be honest. But at the very least, I'd successfully persuaded her to move back to Snaxburg. With Floofty and Shelda now moved back in, we really only had one more grump to try and find, Eggabell. But before I could get to that, we still had some loose ends to tie up in town. A while back, Beffica had asked me to spy on Cromdo, and after such a long and grueling journey in the desert dealing with egglers, cheese sauce, and Shelda's metaphors, a bit of stalking seemed like a walk in the park. So I activated CharlieBarley mode and trailed Cromdo out of town to the site of my shipwreck. Why, you may be wondering? Well, I'll just let it speak for itself.
Not awake, not
what the heck?
Get up, everybody.
He's doing the wiggle. Oh my gosh, he's a fan.
You didn't hear anything, pal. You got that? Not a single peep.
He's doing the wiggle, Beffica. He's doing the wiggle. Beffica. Awaken. Cromdo is a singer.
Beffica ate up this new gossip like a freaking Quookie dipped in milk.
All right, the big snoop complete.
I mean, I was a bit skeptical at first, but I guess Beffica and I really did become best friends after all. There were a couple grumps that still hadn't received a full makeover by yours truly, and Wambus was one of them. So I woke him up in the middle of the night to find his new look. And when I discovered the snack pod legs and shishkabug arms, I knew we'd found something special.
Okay, I actually like this one. It's very, like, pleasing to the eyes. I feel like it makes him look younger, you know?
With my business now finished with Wambus, I decided that it was time to interview Shelda.
Oh, one is sure it will be enlightening.
One is tired of the third person talking. Also, one is needing an interview. Come back.
Shelda described herself as a vessel for Mother Nature, and interestingly was the only grump who hated Bugsnax, referring to them as toxins, temptations that tainted the purity of Mother Nature, and apparently those who hunted and consumed them like Lisbert were forever condemned.
A doom befalls those who consume the toxin!
Okay, don't say that. I fed them to, like, everybody, but yeah, can you be more specific? What kind of doom?
Doom of toxin unending! The ground shakes, the sky splits!
Okay, you're a fraud, aren't you?
Everyone is a fraud in a sense.
All right, perfect. Okay, that was, yeah, thanks so much.
But as unhelpful as the interview was, I also received this.
What the heck is that?
With the key I'd gotten from my interview with Floofty, I was able to open the locked box, which revealed yet another video diary, but as I was heading to Lisbert's house to watch it, Shelda had yet another gift for me.
Behold, the box of purity.
This box was allegedly for donating Bugsnax to be purged by Mother Nature, but we all know it's just a ploy to get free Bugsnax. I see right through you, Shelda. I played along and sauced her a black raspy and then was once again stopped by Chandlo, who was on a personal quest to reach maximum swollenness. Even after turning his arms into beefy Inturitos, he still wasn't satisfied, but according to Chandlo, there had been rumors about a giant Bugsnak hiding in the forest.
Wamba said it was so huge, no grumpus alive could lift it. Sounds like the ultimate workout.
Oh, here he comes. What the frick is that? Mama Miwan?
Here comes Chandlo Slam!
Chandlo Slam resulted in Chandlo getting slammed, and to be fair, Charlie Slam didn't go any better, but after catching one of Mama Mewin's little ones, she charged at me and ended up in the perfect position to drop a stalactite on her head.
Oh, I see. It's trying to save the babies.
But just as I was getting the hang of things, I blacked out. Luckily for me, Chandlo is full of great ideas and decided to distract Mama Mewin with a move that looked strikingly similar to the Chandlo Slam. However, this time it actually worked, giving me the chance to send a final stalactite down onto Mama Mewin. This reduced her to a little slice of watermelon that I easily caught and fed to Chandlo. But just like with Wiggle and the Mega Maki, eating Mama Mewin did nothing to change his strength, and it was in this moment that Chandlo realized there'd always be something stronger than him.
Oh, that's sad, but at least you're a watermelon now. Isn't that good news?
As heartbreaking as this was for Chandlo, I was elated because Mama Mewin was actually our last Bugsnak in Flavor Falls.
We got the baby Miwan and the Mama Miwan. Besides like this massive pizza and this mystery Bugsnak, we've caught every single thing.
When I made it back to Snaxburg, I found Shelda in deep meditation, but something was slightly off about her.
Shelda, what happened with the box?
While Chandlo and I were away fighting an aggressive watermelon, Shelda had given into the temptation, but instead of admitting it, came up with a bunch of excuses about prophetic Bugsnak dreams and purpose and such.
It's called a craving, I think.
Of course, this meant that she wanted me to find and donate the exact Bugsnax she'd been dreaming about.
Let me go get those Bugsnax and toss them in and see where they go. I couldn't hazard a guess.
I caught a cheeser, a peel bug, and an entrap and dropped them all into the box of purity per her request.
Definitely not gonna be eaten or anything. Oh boy, okay. So we'll come back and check on that. Cromdo, we still have to talk to.
Ready to get rich? Hope you got your sunglasses, pal, because we're heading to the sizzling sand.
Okay, so a while back, I'd helped Cromdo steal a treasure map from Triffany's desk that would lead to a gigongous Bugsnak. This is a crime, I know, but with the massive profits we'd make from this Bugsnak, Cromdo would be able to live out his dreams of opening a little karaoke bar where he could sing as loud as he wanted. And you know what? That's a dream worth pursuing, no matter the cost. I accompanied Cromdo to Sizzling Sands, where we stumbled across an old casket and then made our way to the top of the pyramid.
Looks like we gotta do something to call the Bugsnak out. Should be a switch right about... here.
Oh my... Cromdo, I don't know if this is a good idea, man. In hitting the switch, Cromdo had summoned an ancient pizza cutter, and with my snack grappler, I swung it down onto the casket, revealing a pizza pocket. Tenderly, I carried the pizza pocket up the stairs, placed it on the pressure plate, and...
Oh, I caught him.
I put my lunch pad onto the platform and unknowingly summoned the beast. Mothsa Supreme, the same Bugsnak that had knocked me off my ship at the very beginning of our adventure. I had no idea how to defeat this thing, but I figured the lunch pad and the bombinos appearing all around had some part to play. Cromdo was out for the count and definitely of no help, but I eventually realized I could place the bombinos on the lunch pad and then shoot them at the giant flying pizza. I continued doing this, at one point just narrowly missing Cromdo, who was still face down in the sand.
Somehow Cromdo is okay.
But despite my efforts, Mothsa Supreme kept getting back up with no sign of damage. And then I realized I had to get the pizza cutter involved.
Launch, get him down, and then pizza cutter?
Yes! With all the pieces together now, I was able to chop Mothsa Supreme down to a more bite-sized slice and caught her. I got the Mothsa Supreme!
Yes! Okay, let's feed him to Cromdo, I guess. All right, buddy. Here's your Mothsa Supreme. Oh, that looks so stupid.
Upon our return, we immediately bumped into Beffica, who wanted in on Mothsa Supreme, and with the picture she had of us stealing the map from Triffany, she was able to blackmail Cromdo into giving up his piece of the pie. Not mine, though.
I'd never sell up my bestie.
Given that Beffica had let me off the hook with the whole Triffany thievery thing, I felt like the least I could do was dig up some dirt on Chandlo like she'd asked. This mission brought me to Shelda's midnight sermon, where I discovered that Chandlo was apparently a huge believer. She's already eaten the other Bugsnax. Look at her limbs. Oh my god. Gramble pointed this out, but Shelda deflected with some spiritual woo-woo, and after the sermon ended, I got some piercing stares from her and her most loyal disciple. I told Shelda to cut the act, and to her credit, she did, but then she just demanded more Bugsnax. Kinda rude, honestly. Regardless, I went out and caught them all, returning to town with a bag full of Bugsnax.
Let's see, who still looks normal? I have too many Bugsnax in my inventory. Oh, Triffany! I meant to Bugsnackify you like 3 days ago.
I played around with a pizza theme, but wasn't really feeling it. Pickle-y though? Oh yeah. It's literally Cactus Triffany, but without the spikes.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful.
Awfully beautiful, I'd say.
She's like 80% pickle.
When I dropped off Shelda's Bugsnax afterwards, she was less than thrilled and straight up just admitted to being a fraud. Deep inside, Shelda, or actually Shelzy Woolbag, just wanted to be heard, and it was all a show of fake wisdom and false idols for attention.
If I've got any wisdom left to share, it's how not to end up like me.
Well, that's kind of sad.
Now, we should not be enabling a fraud, but I felt kind of bad, so I gave her a mini makeover, changing all her limbs to intraps to match the flower crown, but she did not seem too pleased with me. I reported back to Beffica on Chandlo attending the meeting and told her it honestly seemed like he didn't have any dirt to dig up, but Beffica would not accept this.
The more innocent somebody looks, the nastier the secret.
So, the plan was to instead extract Chandlo's secrets out of Snorpy, and apparently this entailed snackifying Beffica. After turning her arms into entraps, she let me in on her plan, which was to wait for Snorpy to take off his glasses and then have a talk with him.
And if I'm green and I say bro a lot, he'll think I'm Chandlo.
It was an incredibly stupid plan, but we headed to Snorpy's at precisely 5 o'clock, which is the exact time he cleans his glasses, apparently.
Hey, Snorp Dog. Can I, ask you something? You remember that deep, dark secret we were talking about?
I suppose it is time we talked about it. The truth is, Chandlo, I love you with every fiber of my heart.
Beffica, how could you ruin this?
That's not a secret to anybody.
Beffica, when did you get here? How dare you intrude on our private moment?
In all honesty, though, Beffica exploiting Bugsnax to take advantage of Snorpy's visual impairment and extract a deeply personal secret is super uncool and actually very screwed up. And if Beffica was a real person, I would definitely not be her friend. BFF status officially revoked. She ran off, abandoning Snorpy, so I fed him some Bugsnax as an apology for my involvement, and
oh my god, he looks like Wario. You got like the hat and the mustache and the like muscles, kind of like little overalls almost. Like, this is perfect. Let's see, what stuff do we have left to do? We need to get a Scoopy Banoopy. That's literally it.
I had a hunch that we'd find the Scoopy Banoopy somewhere in the mountains, and my hunch was right. There, I found Triffany and Wambus, who had graciously cleared away the avalanche, blocking access to our final area, Frosted Peak. I got straight to the bug snacking, catching a Mount Sodi and this Instabug.
Instabug, what the frick is that?
It's a Scoopy Banoopy.
Okay, how do I do pee?
Since the little fellow was frozen, I tried to draw him toward the fire with some chocolate sauce to thaw him out, and with the help of the tripwire, I was able to catch him.
Scoopy Banoopy.
With our Scoopy Banoopy now caught, I decided to do some exploring around the area, catching a chippy, a melty snack pod, and snatching this flutter jam midair. There were still quite a few Bugsnax in the area to catch, but I returned to Snaxburg to donate the Scoopy Banoopy to Gramble's ranch.
It's kind of cute. Let's pet him. Oh, this is very close. Good boy. All right, let's go visit Gramble and see what he has to say about the giant Bugsnax.
All right now, Manny. Just follow the pointer and... Oh! Wait! Come back! Manny! Natalie, Steve!
And just like that, Gramble's entire Bugsnak family up and left.
I guess that's just what family does.
Poor Gramble. Because I wanted to 100% the game, I had to complete every single quest line, which, as I mentioned before, included all 110 mail quests. So, over the next couple days, I started hammering them out, purging a green crapple for Shelda, scanning a ketchup-covered weenie worm for Triffany, feeding Cromdo every single sody variant. It's beautiful, no? Catching 5 snack pods in 30 seconds, feeding Floofty every single sweetie fly variant. And after completing a bunch of obscure tasks and receiving a ton of equally obscure presents in the mail, I was given the ultimate prize for my efforts.
I lifted your crib, Dawg!
Woo! That's right! You've got a 2-floor apartment now! I was just thinking, you've gotten so many presents from the rest of us, you were probably running out of room.
Ooh, that's so cool! My house is so sick. I have a whole, like, staircase, a second... and there's more places to put grumpy baby mayo! I decorated my second floor with all the gifts I'd received, and with my property value at a new all-time high, I decided to return to Frosted Peak to do some more exploring. I stuck a basketball to a honeybee for Beffica's enjoyment, fetched a missing item for Floofty, and then changed up Wambus's look to include 13 different fruity Bugsnax before returning him to his normal, handsome snack pod self. While I was there, I nabbed a Chili Willy, a Stoodler, and another Scoopy Banoopy for Snorpy, who revealed to me that he'd set up flares all around town as a defense against dangerous Bugsnax. But until they were lit, they weren't of much use, so of course he asked me to light them all. Okay, light all of the flares. I am on fire. I am indeed lit.
Using the trip shot, I lit up all the flares around Snaxburg, as well as some insta-bugs in the process, and then continued on with my other quests.
Ooh, our next quest is Search the Frosted Peak? I think we might be nearing the end of all these quests.
At this point, the mail quests were starting to get pretty obscure. I had to make a crapple stack, set a barbecue bonger on fire, get a lawlive to pick up a sandipede. Like, I came to the island as a journalist, and in the process I've become a National Geographic photographer, a therapist, a food stylist, a private investigator, and now, well, my latest gig was doing marketing for Cromdo.
Oh my gosh, I'm literally defacing the town just so I can get 100%. Cromdo Mart's open for business, baby.
But literally as soon as I got them all up, I was then tasked with going around and picking them back up again, as they were now crumpled up all around town. When will the quests end? I'd kinda reached the end of my rope with all the mail tasks, so I opted to return to Frosted Peak once more and kept working on my Bugapedia. First thing, I detonated the Scoopy Banoopy and separated it into a Scoopy, Cheery, and Banopper. 3 Bugsnax for the price of 1. Somehow though, this little bugger got away from me, and as I chased after the Scoopy...
Oh my... What? Wait... Is that Eggabell?
Indeed it was, but transformed by the harsh wilderness in Frosted Peak, the helpless old Eggabell that we'd seen in the video diaries had turned into a tough, hard-boiled egg. She warned me that the mountain was dangerous, at risk of a deadly avalanche if another earthquake were to occur.
Aren't you also in danger then?
I can handle it. I've been up here for weeks on my own, doing fine.
Okay, well, can you stop?
No. Not until I find Liz.
She told me that the first earthquake had separated the two while they were exploring the mountain, but when I offered to help, Eggabell insisted that I go home and not tell anybody I'd found her up there. And so I did just as she said, returning to Snaxburg and doing a little more house decorating. Oh my god! Oh my god! I did not know. I did not know that's what... I'm never moving that. While I was away, the mail quests had continued to pour in, and truly, my determination to 100% this game was the only thing that kept me going. I knocked back 25 types of Bugsnax with Wambus, set myself on fire for a minute straight at Eggabell's request, which, aren't you a doctor, Eggabell? Like, why are you making me do this? And I also caught a whopping 10 Bugsnax in 90 seconds.
That one was hard.
For all this hard work, I'd received dozens of new decoration items, which I used to furnish the second floor of my hut. I'd been doing these mind-numbing quests for hours at this point, one after the other, and I was starting to feel the way that Floofty looked. Was I any closer to being done with them? I honestly honestly had no idea, but after delivering Wambus a caramel poptic and getting up to date on them, I decided to go see Eggabell again.
I need to find Eggabell, and bad news, I wasn't actually looking when she walked away, so I don't know where she went. I'm thinking if I just kind of walk around the mountain, maybe I'll find her. Never been here before. Oh, there she is.
Now, I know Eggabell told me to go away, but I still needed to learn the truth, and I found her in front of this mysterious door. Using all of Lizbert's notes that I'd collected, we pieced together that to open the door, we'd need to feed these statues the different Bugsnax they depicted. We split up the job between the two of us, and I just so happened to have some of them on me, so I fed a Flutterjam and Scoopy to their respective statues, and then headed out to collect my final one.
Alright, I'm gonna go get a Stoodler, and then that'll be the last of my contribution. I'm sick of all this bug catching and snacking. I can't wait to retire. This journalism job sucks.
Once I'd caught the Stoodler and fed it to my final statue, Eggabell came back as well, acting all worried about me and my physical health.
Eggabell, you literally gave me a quest telling me to set myself on fire for 30 seconds straight. Stop acting like you care.
With all 6 of the statues now fed, we realized we needed a third grumpus to open up the door, and since Lizbert trusted Filbo, Eggabell seemed confident that he was our guy.
Alright, let's go get the Filbmeister, Filb guy.
And Filbo was more than happy to help.
Say no more, I am there.
I wish you wouldn't be, but I'll explain. Let's go. Oh,
what is he? What was that? Oh my god, Filbo. With Filbo now part of the Goon Squad, we arrived at the door and stood on our respective platforms, but as we did so... Oh my god, is that normal? Following that close call, Eggabell was worried about our health and insisted that we both head home, but in a moment of mayoral courage, Filbo gave a motivational speech, saying that the only way we'd be able to save Lizbert was if we worked together.
You know, when I was looking for Lizbert, I got really hungry. I couldn't catch Bugsnax, so I tried eating this purple flower, but then I threw up, and then I went blind for a bit, and then I fell in a hole, and by the time I dragged myself out of there, I was so tired and hungry I could barely move. That's when we met, buddy.
Oh, I had just gotten concussed. Kind of a weird way of expressing it, but in the worst of times, we needed to stick together. Her heart now soft-boiled, Eggabell ultimately agreed, and together we headed back to Snaxburg. And now that Eggabell had returned, we'd gotten all the grumps back in town, which meant it was time for a party.
Once you start the party, you won't be able to catch Bugsnax or complete quests. Be sure you've done everything you want to before continuing. Okay, so this is the end.
The warmth.
Oh, shut up, Shelda.
Skimming through my journal, I realized we still had 2 more Bugsnax in Frosted Peak, and to my utter dismay, there were somehow more quests in the mail.
Why are there so many more quests? I thought I finished these. I could cry.
But the tears would have to wait, because when I spoke with Snorpy, he told me he'd identified the source of the earthquake. Together, we hiked to Frosted Peak and entered the ice cave. And using my trip shot, I awoke the culprit for all the earthquakes on Snaktooth Island and our next legendary Bugsnak, Daddy Cakelegs. Okay, I'm not gonna say that again. Let's call him Sir Cakelegs. I think that's a bit more respectable.
I gotta figure out what to do here. There's a cake and it's very large. Oh, that's what I do. I lit his candle.
As Snorpy stood idly by, I lit the second candle, which caused Sir Cakelegs to slice himself down into tiny cakes. I followed their little conga line down the mountain, picking one off before respawning the cake boss right in front of the mysterious door. For some reason, though, my trip shot wasn't lighting the candles anymore. Can I just light it myself? But eventually, after some trial and error, I got 1 candle going, and then 2, breaking Sir Cakelegs down into his baby cake children. And with a single trip shot, I was able to capture 3 more of the little guys. Cake, 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 baby cake, 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 baby cake, 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 cake. The remaining baby cakes led me to their father, who was not at all pleased. But with 1 final, well-aimed trip shot, I was able to light the single candle on his head, shrinking him down to a smaller, more catchable size. And in transforming Sir Cakelegs into a couple birthday candles in Snorpy's mouth, we'd managed to catch every single Bugsnak on Snaktooth Island and stop the earthquakes in the process. Not long now until we are 100% done with this game. Triumphantly, we returned to Snaxburg, only to find Chandlo furious with Snorpy for hiking the mountain without him and keeping him in the dark. But deep down, this anger had nothing to do with Snorpy's mountain adventures. It was that Snorpy was afraid to tell Chandlo his true feelings, afraid that he wouldn't believe him. I was really rooting for the 2 of them, but unlike Beffica, I knew their love life was none of my business, and I had other things to worry about, so I went off to check my mailbox.
What the fricking frick-frack paddywhack? What the nut? Okay, so I gotta get all the legendary Bugsnax. Catch 3 different types of Bugsnax at once. Complete the second interview with Eggabell and transform a grumpus to show all 8 snack pod variants. Gramble, you're telling me you want a Mama Mewin, a Masa Supreme, a Daddy Cakelegs, and a Mega Maki for your ranch. Are you sure about that? You couldn't even handle a Scoopy Banoopy, but you think you can tame a violently protective watermelon? Or a birthday cake that literally caused the destructive earthquakes on this island? Well, his wish was my command, so I started off in Sizzling Sands, easily defeating Masa Supreme, and then visited every biome to collect one of each snack pod. Oh gosh, this is really not looking good for you, Beffica. Oh god. Okay, go back to being a grape, please. For some reason, that was less unsettling than this. As if there wasn't already enough to do, Snorpy needed my help again, saying his seismic readings were going off the charts.
I fear something terrible is happening just off the coast.
I agreed to accompany him and Chandlo to Simmering Springs to investigate the readings, but before doing so, I wanted to finish catching all the legendary snacks. So, after donating Masa Supreme to Gramble's ranch, I set out for Frozen Peak and caught Daddy Cakelegs again, then traveling to Flavor Falls where we got to experience once more. Oh, a different angle. It's still beautiful. Mama Mewin was no problem at all, which left the Mega Maki. And that is the 4th one. With all of the legendary snacks finally in Gramble's barn, I received our best gift yet. Bunger bed. Bunger, bunger, bunger. There's a bunger bed. Bunger, 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 bunger. Overjoyed with the latest addition to my beautiful house. I then headed to Simmering Springs to meet up with Snorpy and Chandlo.
This seismic event could happen any moment.
Oh, there it goes.
But it ended surprisingly quick. Oh
no. What is this? What? Is that a whole other island? I later realized that this was for the Isle of Bugsnax DLC, so if you'd like to see me explore this new island and 100% the DLC as well, make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments.
Get hype!
I knew that I'd be leaving the DLC for another time, so I went back to, you guessed it, Frozen Peak to conduct my final interview with Eggabell. Who are you?
Dr. Eggabell Batternugget, MD.
Are you Kit Batternugget? Okay. Thoughts on Bugsnax?
They're a perfectly balanced source of nutrition with upsetting side effects that are otherwise harmless.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. According to the medical expert, Bugsnax are perfectly okay. What about my Bugsnax allergy? Tell me, why am I allergic?
You're allergic to Bugsnax? What have you been eating all this time?
Great question. Sauce, I guess? Eggabell went on to explain how she met Lizbert, that Lizbert came crashing into her clinic with injuries from her adventures and how exciting and amazing they sounded. Shortly after, she quit her job to join these adventures with the love of her life. After our interview, Eggabell gave me yet another video diary. Oh, video diary 0. With our interview finished, I returned to Snaxburg to complete our final mail quest, to catch 3 different species of Bugsnak, all at the same time. I felt like the best place to do this was going to be Simmering Springs because there was just a lot of little guys on the beach. After surveying the area, I set my sights on this spot, aiming to catch a Queeble, Raspy, and Peelbug. And after many failed attempts, I finally managed to catch all 3 at the same time. And thus, I had done it. I'd caught every single Bugsnak, completed every quest line, conducted every interview, and finished every single mail quest. Or besides the one that involved the DLC. Honestly, I wish I could destroy my mailbox because I never want to receive a letter from anyone ever again. But with all of that finally completed, I spoke to Filbo about the celebration, and this time, I think, yeah, let's party. Dang, this is actually kind of a party. After so much drama and turmoil, it was really nice to see everyone together just having a good time. We had all the usual characters. Chandlo misinterpreting Shelda's metaphorical wisdom.
You're saying I should chug this snack water upside down, dog!
What on earth?
Yes!
Beffica making snide remarks, Filbo saying stupid things.
There's a party in my mouth and I'm invited.
And in a way, the party was a chance for reconciliation between the grumpuses. I saw Floofty apologizing to Snorpy, a real sibling moment. And Triffany and Wambus were getting along like they just met. It was really lovely, but there was one issue. Nobody wanted to dance. Even Wiggle, whose literal claim to fame was a song about dancing. Only Filbo.
Oh yeah,
I changed the song to hopefully get more grumps on the dance floor, and it worked on Beffica. That's 2 people dancing. Shelda wanted an orb cleaved and a snow of paper shards before she would dance, which is really just a convoluted way of saying she wanted me to break the piñata. So I chucked a cup from Cromdo's table, and just like that,
one tears up the dance floor. Boogie boogie!
Throwing cups around was honestly making more progress than talking, so I threw one at Wambus and accidentally gave it to him, which for some reason encouraged him to make amends with Gramble. Go dance! Wiggle was still hesitant to join in, but I realized she needed a drink, so instead of throwing the cup at her, I handed it to her gently, which seemed to do the trick. Floofty was being a real party pooper though, saying that rhythmic gyration had no purpose, so I sent Triffany their way to discuss the history of death dances in the Desert Empire.
Triffany has convinced me of the historic and cultural value of expressive movement.
Makes me want to shake my tailbone.
And now that Floofty was gone, Snorpy had the perfect opportunity to approach Chandlo with his true feelings.
I've always wondered how you feel about me. Do you want to be my boyfriend?
Oh my
What?
gosh!
Bro, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh.
Forget what I said.
Snorpy, we've been dating for years.
What? I just thought that we were roommates with benefits.
Sorry, Snorp Dog.
Oh.
Is that clear enough for you? I love you, dog. Now let's dance.
Oh, finally.
Ah, right, that's enough work. Now it's time to work the dance floor.
Yay, it's a real party. All right, talk to Filbo. Filbo, buddy, where'd you go? What? Hello? Where's Filbo? I knew it. He's up there. Filbo and I took in the party from the balcony, lamenting the absence of Eggabell and Lizbert, but it was still a happy occasion, and he thanked me for all the work I put in that brought us to this moment, when suddenly we were interrupted.
Our end is nigh.
What? End? Is that a metaphor, or?
What the, huh?
Gotta move! Now!
Move where? What is going on? The party was over, and we were back in the thick of it. Shelda was catastrophizing about an impending doom, Wiggle blamed it on the Queen of Bugsnax, the Grumpinati was Snorpy's main concern, and soon enough, people were contemplating cannibalism, all while Shelda ran laps. But Filbo came in clutch again with his inspiring leadership.
Have to stick together.
Eggabell!
Well said, Filbo.
Eggabell had made her return, and she'd figured out how to open the mysterious door. While Filbo, Eggabell, and I embarked on a final mission to enter the door and find Lizbert, the rest of the group was tasked with doomsday preparations, setting up bonfires and watchtowers, getting traps out, and finding a way off the island. All right, let us go open the mountain door. I followed Eggabell and Filbo through the Sugar Pine Woods and up to Frozen Peak, finally reaching the locked doors. What is gonna happen? I don't even know.
1, 2, 3!
And just like that, the doors were open. Whoa. Whoa! That was actually legitimately scary. The Undersnax? What the frick? We dropped smack dab in the middle of the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movie, and I was so excited to live out my chicken Brent dreams. I guess that makes Filbo Flint Lockwood, so do with that what you will. Reluctantly, we explored around the Undersnax, peering around the corner to find a mysterious figure. We followed it down the corridor, dropping into a hole to find this grotesque Bugsnax mishmash, the Snaxsquatch, the very same monster that had scared Beffica and Gramble that one night. In the commotion, we'd gotten separated from Eggabell, so we trekked onward down the corridor, stepping through this cold, slimy Bugsnak goop. Oh, I just got freaking murked by a Snaxsquatch? Oh my god, I thought that was another one. I almost cried. What? Lizbert? What is going on? Lizbert? What is this place? I'm so scared right now. What is that? What the what are you looking at me for?
Lizbert, it's you! You're alive!
Filbo.
Filbo, how are you being so calm about this? I have chills right now. That is so disgusting. Can you answer a few questions? Can I have an interview?
Seriously? Trying to interview me right now?
I'm sorry. I can't stop looking at your curly fry arm and your long snake sushi torso. I mean, I'm not leaving without answers. What the f***'s this? Begrudgingly, Lizbert agreed to the interview. All right, perfect. So where are we?
This is the island's true form. It's disgusting. once you understand what Bugsnax really are.
What are they?
They're parasites.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. How many of those did I feed to Wambus for that quest? 25?
To my shock and horror, Lizbert explained that Bugsnax were mind-altering parasites that eventually transformed their hosts into more Bugsnax. Everything in the Undersnax was once a living thing that had been tempted by the allure of Bugsnax.
What happened to you? Elephant in the room, what is going on?
After I saved Eggabell, I fell into this place. Bugsnax were crawling down my throat. To make me into them.
Somehow, Lizbert was able to resist the Bugsnax and channeled her strength in order to control them. The snack squatch that scared the town turned out to be her, trying to warn us and make us leave the island.
So the Bugsnax are under control? It's all under control? You got it?
The Bugsnax are in a frenzy.
Please back away from me. I guess Lizbert had found a way to command the Bugsnax as their queen, but her control was slowly slipping. They were growing restless and ravenous.
I'm the only thing keeping this island together right now.
Okay, I guess that's everything. Thanks so much.
Suddenly, a huge tremor rocked the Undersnax.
I can't hold them back for much longer. Please, go and warn the others. I'll keep the Bugsnax at bay long enough for everyone to escape.
Where is Eggabell, too? Oh, there she is. Of course, Eggabell wanted to escape with Lizbert, but that wasn't possible because, well, first off, someone who looks like that is clearly too far gone, but also because as soon as Lizbert left the Undersnax, she'd lose all control over the Bugsnax, and that would mean the death of us all.
All right, then I'll get in there with you. Move over.
No. Where did she go? Oh! What the Can you please? Oh, what the way they move. With Eggabell joining Lizbert, they'd hopefully have the collective strength to keep the island together long enough for everyone to escape. Oh my god, Filbo, we've gotta go. Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. She just tossed me out of the volcano. I'm in Flavor Falls, this is where I can cuss myself last time. Reminiscent of my first moments on this cursed island, I found Filbo laying on the ground in the same place I'd found him all those days ago. Yeah, we've gotta... Ooh, that dumpy. Okay, we've gotta evacuate, like, now-ish. The island itself was transforming into Bugsnax right before our eyes, and as the erupting volcano came into view, Filbo and I could only pray that the other grumpuses were alright.
Why did we feed them so many already?
I don't know, you guys asked me to, you told me, you gave me quests. It's all my fault. We first bumped into Snorpy, who was repairing the airship while the rest of the grumps held off a massive horde of Bugsnax. Upon our arrival, Snorpy left to help Chandlo, leaving Filbo in charge of fueling the airship and leaving me in charge of his latest invention, the snack chop.
It's much like the snack trap if it was set to, puree.
Armed with this new weapon, I came face to face with a squadron of Strabbies and smushed them to bits, continuing down the path to find Shelda and Floofty fighting some Sprinklepedes. Floofty tossed me yet another new weapon, a snack grappler with a punching attachment that I used to pummel the Sprinklepedes, Picantuses, and Intruidos until the horde cleared. As Shelda and Floofty retreated to the airship, I carried on, finding Chandlo and Snorpy with a Queeble-powered missile drone. As Snorpy flew the drone, Chandlo chucked anchoring points and I fired the tripwire to take down the Charmallows on the cliffside.
We crushed it, Dawg!
Those two lovebirds withdrew to the airship, and I continued down the path to help Beffica and Cromdo, an unlikely duo teaming up to defeat a crew of cheap-hoofs. As Cromdo loaded up the barrels, I manned the lunch pad, shooting down all the flying Bugsnax, while Beffica just kind of stood there, honestly. Very helpful, bestie. We dealt with those Bugsnax with absolute ease. Cromdo and Beffica headed to the airship, but I pushed further into Snaxburg, and the devastation of this apocalypse was really starting to set in. Where's everybody else? My house! Oh man, but my giant statue. Oh, it's all gone. No. My precious home was now a pile of rubble, along with my giant grumpus skeleton, my prized bunger bed, and all my grumpy baby mare plushies. But there were more serious matters to attend to, namely Wiggle, Gramble, and a Strabby hamster ball spiked to destroy the oncoming Bugsnax. Of course, Gramble didn't have the heart to kill the Bugsnax, especially using another Bugsnak.
I can't do this.
But I said leave it to me, CharlieBarley, journalist extraordinaire, to operate the weaponized strawberry and roll that bad boy into battle. Alright, go get him, Strabby. With my laser pointer, we bulldozed the onslaught of peel bugs and crapples into a fruit salad. Oh my god, I'm so good!
No time for an encore, Gramble dear. We better boogie.
And the last grumpuses left were Wambus, armed with his hoe, and Triffany with a... Wait, is that Cactriffy? Anyways, using a special sauce Wambus had grown, we were able to disintegrate the oncoming Bugsnax, fending against the Spuddies and Bungers until they were no more.
All right, Triffy, let's go home.
All right, escape from Snaktooth. Let's go. Come on, everybody. Move it, people. Move it. Up to the balloon. Up to the balloon.
Okay, we're all here.
Can I go on? Oh, no.
We gotta get on board.
Okay, fly away now. Fly away now. Fly away. Oh, no. Oh, my. What is going on? Thanks, I think. What? Am I gonna get attacked? Is that why I can't turn around? Is because they're all gonna like go savage and attack me because I fed them a bajillion Bugsnax and they're parasites and I killed everybody? Thankfully, this was not the case. We landed on a beach with the plume of the volcano in the distance, and it seemed like everybody had made it. Even Cactriffy. Like, despite the chaos and destruction, somehow we had all made it out okay. Gramble especially was thriving because I messed up every single person in Snaxburg except Gramble. And you know what? I like it that way. I like you, Gramble. Side note, editing Charlie here. I actually did have to transform Gramble for the Midnight Snack and Feeding Frenzy achievements to get the full 100%. So my sincerest apologies. Still love you, Gramble. Okay, back to it. And Filbo, well, Filbo's still the way he's always been. A hapless, bumbling idiot with the sincerity and kindness of a true leader.
All right, everybody. We should head out.
What a frickin' squad.
It's gonna take a while for the Bugsnax to wear off on us. Can't go back home like this, so is it alright if I stay with you for a while?
No, I think well... Okay, they're only... Yes, fine. Oh god, can't wait to wake up to that every morning. The next thing I knew, I was in Clumby's office again. Totally forgot I was a journalist for a hot minute. And to my surprise, Clumby loved the story.
I'd call it fiction if you didn't have this Philippus Yahoo along as a witness. It's just too bad those Bugsnax weren't real, huh?
What?
I hope you can spread the truth about Snaktooth before anybody else gets hurt.
Don't worry. GNN specializes in painful truths. And speaking of, you're fired.
What? Oh my god, Clumby. How dare you?
Also, you're legally dead.
What?
Might want to clear that up.
What? Clumby didn't believe in Bugsnax, and I lost my job, but...
You've had worse days, huh, buddy?
Filbo, I'm legally dead. After my nightmarish time on Snaxburg, it was so nice to see everyone doing so well, especially because I thought I'd killed them all by feeding them so many Bugsnax. Wambus was finally happy on his farm, Wiggle had her wiggle back, Cromdo was singing as loud as he wanted, Snorpy was hitting the gym, and Chandlo was hitting the books, and even Floofty had softened up and was now teaching biology. And thanks to his fantastic campaign manager, yours truly, Filbo had been elected mayor of New Grump City, and somehow, Eggabell and Lisbert were living happily on the island. And so we all lived happy, Bugsnackless lives for the rest of our days. Or did we?
No, I sent them away. It would be hard to make them disappear at this point.
Do they suspect anything?
It's the Grumpinati! It's the Grumpinati! Oh no! Who brought a Strabby? Oh my god. Hold on. What? And on that sinister note, this marks the end of our time on Snaktooth Island. That was truly a roller coaster of a journey, and I really hope you enjoyed tagging along. We are currently sitting at 97% completion, with our final achievement being to complete the adventure of the Isle of Big Snacks DLC. So, as I mentioned, comment and let me know if you'd like to see me play the DLC, and make sure to subscribe. I would absolutely love to have you here, and it means a bunch. Alright, that is all I have for today, but I will see you guys next time. Bye!